Hey y'all, welcome back. You know what? I said I was gonna get on here and make a YouTube channel, make a YouTube video because I have not gotten on YouTube. I have not uploaded a video, and I said I was trying to upload videos on YouTube. I really just come here to rant about things that I want to talk about because a lot of times the people that I talk to every day, they're not interested in this. So I come on here to talk to my pretend audience that want to hear my opinions because they don't want to hear my opinions about what I be talking about. They want to hear my opinions about what we talking about together, right? They don't want to hear my opinions about this stuff. So I come on here and I talk to people that I like to pretend exist. They want to hear me about my thoughts about these certain situations that's going on. I didn't. And that's the other thing. I come on here with no topics. I need to come up with some topics about what's going on. I just came out of my podcast that I do every Sunday on my friend's podcast, and I like doing it. The reason why I like doing it because I like to sort of massage or like stretch my brain, stretch my way of thinking, stretch my like intelligence on sort of debating people on sort of black issues. So um, I like that because um, I like to talk about that stuff, and I would love if we could just get all of us to start implementing some of my ideas. But that's why I'm moving to Memphis because I want to go to Memphis and change the whole game. I got to come up with a plan on how I'm gonna do that because I want Memphis to be so much better than what it is now. Like I feel like it's so much more that we can be doing in Memphis so it can be a better city. But anyway, that's one of my things. That's what I'm saying. Like, you give me 100 million that I talked about in my last video. In my last video, I broke down how I would spend $100 million where it would last me the rest of my life. And I talked about how I was going to invest in the black community and invest additional after a period of time, and we could use that to benefit and help ourselves. So, if you have not watched that video, you should watch it. I kind of went down some ideas and stuff. You know how I just get on here. Okay. Anyway, what's going on? What I've been doing? I really been still watching Candace Owens. Oh my God. Candace Owens. I can't believe I like Candace, and I kind of don't disagree with Candace. Oh my God. I know. I know. I know. I know. I agree with a lot of Candace. I ain't gonna lie. And Candace is brave. Brave. Because you cannot tell me that they are not on her ASS. So, I don't know. 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 I thought about getting on here and talk about story time in Jamaica for Hurricane Melissa. I went to Jamaica October 22nd, I believe I got there, and I left November 4th. I was supposed to leave October 27th, but I ended up getting stuck there for the hurricane. I actually did not know anything about this hurricane prior to going to Jamaica. I did not, I was not, um, I did not hear of anything about it on the news until I got to Jamaica, and then I started seeing it all over my social media. And then of course, my friend, my cousin had said something to me about it. I feel like, but I guess it wasn't clicking to me. Maybe because I wasn't on vacation yet. I was in full throttle work mode, so I wasn't necessarily paying attention to it. Not fully until I got to Jamaica. I will say that we were in Jamaica. We got there on Wednesday. Thursday, we worked So we went to Starbucks. We probably walked and took pictures. It was really nice outside. Um, we ended up catching an Uber, so we Uber back. Then we worked pretty much all of Thursday. Um, we um, we worked the whole time, and I think we went out on that Friday. We went to have dinner at Marguerite's. That's on Hip Street in Montego Bay, and uh, that was a great night. And then Friday, so we had Marguerite's. It was very fine dining. I think our bill was like $300. It was very fine dining. The food was very mid though. I feel like I got better food at the pork hut that was up the street that I paid 1,000 Jamaican dollars for a piece of chicken off the grill and two pieces of bread and a ting, and that was the best meal of my life. Right? So I spent a whole bunch of money, but it was the experience. It was the experience with them. Then the next morning, which was Friday, we started hearing about the hurricane and all of that. And what did I do on Friday? Look at me. See, that's why I didn't want to do it, because I didn't necessarily remember what all we did. Because I had fun. Now, let me not jump ahead. Okay, Friday we went to the beach. Friday we woke up and went to the beach. The 24th. Let me just double check that really quick, so I make sure I'm on where I'm supposed to be. October 24th was Friday. Yes, Friday we went to the beach. But we went to the beach and we was able to get, like, it was the sun was out. It was a little cloudy, which made it a little not as hot as I would have liked it at the beach, but it was nice. I did get in the water. It was, Doctor's Cave. But it was raining. It kept raining and stopping. And so after that, we ended up getting a ride because we knew that the storm was coming. So my cousin's stepdad ended up coming to get us and taking us to the store to get like food in the event, not in the event, when the lights went out. Right? When the lights went out, because it wasn't in the event the lights were definitely going to be cut off, right? So we went and got food. We got, canned foods. We got um, non-perishable items like Vienna sausages, crackers, chips. We got fruit. Even though that wouldn't necessarily survive, but in the first couple hours, we could sort of enjoy that out of the refrigerator. We had chicken. Well, again, not food that was going to survive us being out of that, but as soon as the lights went off, you know, that chicken was, we took it out of the refrigerator. That chicken was good, you know, to eat. So we went and got food, we got water, we had plenty of water, everything we needed. We went to the grocery store and got it that night. And then, um, so we went and did that. Um, we went and did that, and then we came home, and then that night, um, and we kind of chilled that night. I ain't gonna lie, my cousin was very scared. She was scared of that storm. But we did have a chance to leave. We could have got on that flight for Sunday to get out of there. But let's be honest, I did not want to leave Jamaica. I was like, hurricane, okay, I'm gonna be here for the hurricane. Um, and I was just down for whatever. I had already looked on my calendar for work, and I saw that I had no trials. I just had virtual hearings. I was like, you can leave. I don't think I said that. I think I just said that. I travel alone. I wasn't gonna be fucked up if my cousin would have left, because she was really nervous about the storm. Whatever. She was really nervous. She was scared. Then I didn't even get to the point. Me and my cousin fell out. My other cousin, me and my other cousin fell out. She gets on my nerves. Um, but this is me in the back seat. Look, right then again on the 26th, I was out getting some more food. I was out. The 26th was Sunday, and me and my cousins, we on this video. We was on the way to the grocery store to get more food. We had so much food. We had so much food that, and we're gonna get to that later. But that's when I was so irritated with Black Americans that were at them resorts and they were like complaining about like food and stuff. Like I guess we was at Airbnb and we was with the locals, so I had a different experience. That's the other thing. I had a different experience. But me and my cousins, we had like we had already knew that we was gonna have to go get food, cause like these places were gonna close, so we was gonna have to have like our own food in the event that this Hurricane Melissa come down and tear this place up. So I mean, when you go to the Caribbean island, this is my issue with the Black Americans that was there. When you go to the Caribbean islands, obviously these places don't have the resources of America. They just don't. Now, just imagine how Americans act when a hurricane is coming. The tissue gone, the eggs gone. They go in there and buy up everything. We go in there and buy up everything, and then so like I don't understand what kind of meals they expected from those resorts, given that those resorts were going to be operating on ventilators, and a lot of the food they just wasn't going to have the horsepower to produce 5-star meals at those things. So we had already, I don't know, so I don't know, I guess they were still charging them for a full course meal, but I mean, that's capitalism. Unfortunately, I mean, I think the worst thing y'all could have done was got online. You'd have been, but then again, that's a probably the workers. They just work there. They not the owner. They're following orders. So the worst thing you could have done was get online. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. I would have never done it. Do that shit when you go to Europe. Anyway. So we went back to the store, and then um and then the other thing is that we were with the local population. So we was in the local spot. So the Jamaicans were not concerned about. The only time I felt like the storm was a big deal was when I got on social media. Then it was like, it was just like, all the noise about the storm. But the Jamaicans were out still selling their stuff. They were still out. People were still out. People were still going to work. People were hanging out. People were chilling. But I guess that they knew they were going to know when the storm was coming. And they knew that the storm wasn't coming. So, um, that Sunday, look at me, I'm out with the locals. He cutting up me some fruit. So we had fresh fruit, and that was fun. Then so we had fresh fruit. So we was out shopping, this, that, and the other. And then we ended up spending time, we woke up, the storm still wasn't there. So my cousin came and got us and we went to Sea Point. Sea Point. I was so happy to get out of the house. Cause I was so happy to get out of the house. So we went to Sea Point, had fun there, had fun there. Then the car broke down. Then we had to stop and get it fixed. Good thing it was so. That's why I love Jamaicans. Like when Jamaicans are in Jamaica, like we had just picked up some box food, and we was somewhere in one of their communities. We was eating box food. That's how we be with the locals. We do not be at the tourist attractions. All black people, we was picking up box food, and something happened with the car. As soon as their car stopped, it was like 3 or 4 people that walked right over to him and wanted to figure out what was wrong with his car, to help him figure out what was wrong with his car. And they just, as far as from what I saw, is that they just told him what was wrong. He walked to the nearest store and got it, came back, and we was back on the road. That's what I saw. I didn't see him necessarily pay anyone, but I just love the communion amongst Jamaicans. So, right? So then we back on the road. We back driving. We back on the road. So then I get dropped off And then after sitting at the house for a little minute, I decided to contact one of my Jamaican friends that I met earlier this year, and I told him to come pick me up. I had fun too, and you know what? Um, I remember that. I ain't gonna lie, I remember that we had so much fun. We was talking like he Jamaican, so he telling me like he from there. What I like about him is that like we just be chilling. Like it's not, you know how y'all know. We just be chilling, having conversations. He's very ambitious, so he talk about like what he's working on, what he's doing. He always takes me to like where his the neighborhood in his where his mom's family live. We go to his shop. He took me to like we always go do these things like when me and him spend time together, we do sort of the same thing, and I like that. And it's no funny business. Like it's just, do you want it? Let's be honest. How the Jamaican men do? What do you want? You tell them what you want, and they get it for you. Right? Right? Whatever I want to do, whatever I want to do, it's up to me. And I just tell him, and he make the shit happen. Right? Let me stop. And then one of the things that I will not forget about spending that few hours with him was that after we got done doing all the things that we was doing, like we end up going to his family. We end up going to his where his mom lived. We end up hanging, watching the boys play football. We had a nice little view. We had a nice view of like the island and the ocean. And then we went to the shop box that was in his family's community that was owned by his cousin. Then food was ready, so you know how Jamaicans are. Somebody cooked, and they did the alarm for everybody to come get a plate. He went and got us a plate. We sit there and split it. It was, what was it? It was some kind of chicken with gravy and dumplings and potatoes. Mine, we sat in that car and towed it up. Then he had to run like an errand for his grandma, so he had to go up a hill. Then he showed me his place in his family's like community. Then he showed me his shop. Then we went to his dad's place because his dad's place is where I think he lives primarily, and it's closer to where we live, to where we stay in the Airbnb. And so we took me to his. I've been over there before. That's when the first time we hung out. He took me on. We was on. I never forget that night in January. We went up, and we sat on the roof of his daddy, his family's house, and I never forget that night. So we did this. So we visited his house, and we was in his car, and we was basically just laying there, sleep, and it was like it was raining. It was just like raindrops, natural raindrops, and I was in his car, knocked out. I was sleeping so good, knocked out in his car, hearing the rain just drop, drop, drop. Then the wind started picking up, and then that's how we knew that the storm was coming. That's how we know. That's how we knew the storm was coming, because the wind started picking up. The wind, it was raining, and the wind started picking up. So I got woke up out of that sleep, right? And then I just asked him to take me back to my Airbnb. He took me back to my Airbnb, and I got dropped off, right? I think I was at home probably like 4 hours before the lights cut off because the wind had picked up. It was raining, raining, and at first they was blinking. They was blinking and popping back on, blinking and popping back on. And I'm thinking to myself, it's only a matter of time before them damn lights blink off and not cut back on. So I think the lights cut off at like 2:30 in the morning. and the wind was full throttle, blowing. So that's how we knew the storm was coming. And so we were a little scared. So instead of us staying in our individual rooms, we went into the main room, which was my room, and we just slept in the bed there. But I'm gonna start right there and then give y'all a part two. And give you the rest because we still got to go through the actual storm, the aftermath, the airport closing, um, going to Kingston, being stranded in Jamaica, stranded, stranded in Jamaica. So we still got a lot to get through. So this is the literally I've gotten you from us starting, getting to Jamaica, what we've done each day because we got there on Wednesday. Now we're at the storm hitting. So we still have a lot to go over. So I'm gonna do part two, but I'm gonna let us just stick with this so far, and I'm gonna do a part two. But right now we're doing story time. Hurricane Melissa.